Hey everybody, today it's Friday. We talk about Roundhill. Roundhill declares every day of the week on something. I'm going to go to those. Monday you got WPay. Tuesday you have YBTC and YETH. That's their Bitcoin and their Ether funds. Wednesday you have their index funds, XDTE on the S&P. QDTE on the NASDAQ and RDTE on the Russell. Thursday, they have Maggie. That's their Mag 7 covered call fund. And then Friday, you got your single stocks. So let's just go back to the top and talk about all of them. And again, you guys are degenerates. We will go through this quickly. Attention span is low for a lot of us. Let me go down. Okay. So WPay was down 0.78 at 42.50. They have multiple underlying, so we can't compare that. YBTC, it's a couple of different Bitcoin funds. So multiple underlying, so we can't compare that. They're down 0.44. YETH on Ethereum, down 1.21, multiple underlyings. XDTE is the 0DTE, which uncovered calls. I love the 0DTE. No overnight exposure. They're at 39.94. They're up 0.65. The SPX, which you guys know we did an iron condor on and closed it for a profit. It actually hit our short call, so we rolled the put credit spread up a little bit, got a little bit more premium, and then this was yesterday. SPX went back down and closed at our profit-taking price. So I think we sold it, the Condor, for 225. The limit was 200, but it actually went up before the open, executed at 225. We added 60 when we moved the put credit spread, so 225 plus 60, 285, and then we sold it for 110, the whole thing. So $175 on about, I think, 225 risk. So solid. And we'll talk about options tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, Sunday. Tomorrow is top 10. We got to do top 10 tomorrow. So anyway, SPX was up 0.65. XDTE was up 0.65. They captured the full amount of the gain. QDTE, that's the NASDAQ covered call, 0DTE, Roundhill Fund, was up 0.89. The NASDAQ was up 1.02. So let me shrink this just a tiny so I can see the whole thing. Or I could shorten this to, so I think we're a little wide. I think we're a little wide on all these. So we can see everything on one side without, no, that didn't help. All right, so here we have ETF versus underlying. XDTE captured 100% of it. QDTE captured 87% of it. RDTE on the Russell captured 119% of it, so they went up more. RDTE was up 0.93. RUT was only up 0.78, so they went, again, these are a little bit of leverage, so when things are up, they may go up more. When things are down, they may go down more. Maggie was up 0.42. Mags, which is Mag 7, up 0.65. AAP, now these are the single stocks. We'll talk about these declarations today. This is Apple, covered calls on Apple, a little bit of leverage, 0.27. AAPW, Apple was up 0.13, so they went more. AMDW down 0.9%. AMD down 0.74. I'm very bullish on AMD, as most of you are. I mean, it's just been on a run. Today was down a little bit. But overall, the market was up. My portfolio was up, I think, to almost 3%, just under 3%. So I'm very happy with that. And you guys know I'm degenerate. These are insane funds paying massive yield, and I was up 3%. So we'll take it. AMZW was up 0.35. Amazon up 0.43. They captured 82%. And sometime in the future, I'll see if I can shrink these so we can see them all on one page. You can on a lot of them. Or we could do, we can do that. But I hope what you can see is okay. ARMW on ARM Holdings, that's a British semiconductors. ARMW was down 1.5, ARM was down 1.14, so they captured a little bit more of the loss, as expected. Look at Avgo, and I'm big bull on Avgo. 3.76 was up today, Avgo. AVGW up 4.8. They captured more than the gain on Avgo. BABW on Alibaba was down 3%. BABA was down 2.25, so they lost a little more. Again, you'll see this trend. BRKW, Berkshire, down 0.43. Berkshire down 0.71. So they actually didn't lose as much. Here they did. COIW on Coinbase. COIW down 2.35. Coinbase down 1.96. And Costco, COSW, up 1.14. Costco up 1.05. So they did better there. GUW, this is the only Roundhill fund I own. This is why we look at all of them, because I'm curious, what's the next one to buy? I do own this because their total return, I'll show you that in a minute. They're at $73. This thing launched at 50. So way up there. Today they're up 0.95. Google is up 0.96. Pretty even, almost full capture. WHOW on Robinhood was down 0.04%. Robinhood was down 0.1. So pretty close. METW on Meta was up 1.57. Meta was up 1.08, so they captured more than Meta did. MSFT on Microsoft was up 0.26. Microsoft was up 0.24. Again, pretty close. Strategy continues to be a train wreck. Down 5.77%. I'm still bullish on this. They own so much Bitcoin. When Bitcoin moves, this thing's going to fly. So for you MSTR holders, or you hold an option fund, MSTW, MISTY, MST, I'd say hang in there. Not financial advice, but that's it's just down so much, and they have so much Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin moves, I think this will move, and I do think Bitcoin will move to the upside. Today, I don't know. Next week, I don't know. Next year, I don't know. At some point. So if you can be patient with it, go for it. Anyway, MSTW was down even further to down 6.68%. NFLW on Netflix was down 1.5. Netflix was down 1.21, so they lost a little more. NVDW was down 0.1. NVIDIA down 0.12, so they did not go down as much, but it was pretty close. PLTW was down 0.41. Palantir was up 0.36. And you see that a lot. When it's a small gain or loss, the other is a small gain or loss. They can be flip-flopped. One's up, one's down. But when something's up like this, like TSLW, up 2.59%, Tesla up 2.11. They captured more, about 20% more. This is a 1.2 leverage fund. That's how it's designed. Ubu on Uber down 3%. Uber down 2.48. So they lost a little more, about 20% more. That's just that's how it works. UNHW, United Healthcare, newer fund, down 1%. United Healthcare down 0.57. So they were down a little more. GDXW on gold miners was up 1.34. Gold miners was up 1.1, so they captured about 20% more. GLDW on Spider Gold was up 0.81. Spider Gold was up 0.73. And then the last one is the TSYW. It's a bond fund. Up 0.76. TLT up 0.65. Bond fund. So we're not going to see a lot of yield with this one. But if you want to be a little safer, you like bonds. I hate bonds, but that's something to look at. Again, not financial advice. So overall, Roundhill funds were down 0.16 today. The underlyings were down 0.05, so they captured a lot more percentage-wise, over 300%, because it was barely down, and this was barely down too, but 0.05 to 0.16, big difference. All right, let's get to the meat. That's the distros, and we'll talk about total return as well. All right, WPay, they went from 37 cents to 40 cents. Again, they declared Monday, so they already paid. They paid Wednesday, but 47% yield. Total return is negative. Why? And that's just a fund of funds. They own all the different Roundhill funds. YBTC on Bitcoin, $1.38 back down to 19 cents. I mean, huge loss, but that $1.38, I averaged the last three, and Roundhill has tended to, pay massive the last week or two of the year. So the end of 2025, and you'll see that with the index funds as well. So they paid 85 cents, $1.38, and now 19 cents. So kind of back to earth. But if you average the three, it's 143%. Total return is up. I average drip and no drip. That's 23%. Months to ROI. That's based on the yield. 8 months, you get your money back based on that yield. I do expect this to drop because end of the year they pay massive. Now it should get back, down to earth a little bit. YETH on Ethereum, 20 cents, 17 cents, 18 cents. So they've been pretty steady. 53% yield. Total return is down 14%. 22 months to get your money back if nothing changes, and we know it does. Then the index funds, XDTE. Look at these massive payments: $1.38, $2.05, and now 16 cents. So this is kind of more of what we're going to see throughout the year till the end. But anyway, if you average the three, and if you think of a better idea on how to figure out the yield, you can't just go by the last one, because then this 205 would show, a 300% yield. If you average the last 12, the price has changed so much among those 12, it's hard to gauge. So I like to do the three. It's not perfect, but if you have a better way of checking the yield, let me know. So that's 156% yield. Total return is positive 14%. That's annualized. QDTE, again, massive. $1.91, $1.08, and now 15 cents. Back to earth. But you average the three, current price, 176% yield. Probably will make the top 10 again tomorrow. I do that weekly. It might make it the following week because it's going to take 2 weeks to get these huge numbers off the books. And but that's how we track it. Total return is up. With or without drip, I average those. That's 16% annualized total return. So they say you can't get high yield and total return. You can on this one. Again, if you have a better way of calculating the yield, I'm all ears. RDTE, that one's been pretty steady the whole way. That's on the Russell. 21 cents, 39 cents, a little bit bigger than usual, and now 17 cents, 45% yield. Total return is 12%. Again, 45% yield, 12% total return. And I don't know if you guys saw the Financial Heat podcast with Tuttle Capital. we were talking about what's the sweet spot for yield and total return. What's the maximum yield you can get, and still grow, the fund still grows. And I was saying it's about 35%. This is 45%. It's on an index, so a lot safer than the single stocks. 45% yield and positive growth. So I'm going to dive deeper into that in another video. What's the best yield with growth? But that's going to be a candidate for sure. Mag 7, they paid 35 cents, 36 cents, 35% or 35-cent average, 35% yield, total return 34%. I mean, that's as steady as it gets. Mag 7. I love Mag 7. I'm very bullish on Mag 7 this coming year. So we'll see how that works out. Now the single stocks, these are the ones that declared today. X date will be Monday. They'll pay Tuesday. AAPW on Apple went from 21 cents to 16 cents, 26% yield, total return 5%. AMDW on AMD, again, very bullish, 64, 62, 64 cents. Again, these are all weekly, so 64-cent average, 70% yield, 83% total return. So maybe that's the sweet spot, 70, but it depends on the underlying, on the single stocks. And AMD's just, been through the roof. So maybe that's the key there, 70% on a good fund. Can we predict that? Of course not. AMZW on Amazon went from 35 cents to 21 cents. That's a 34% yield. Total return is 9%. ARMW on ARM. And again, this paid massive a while back. It's come down 16 cents, 28 cents, now 34 cents. So it's increased the last 3 weeks. That's a 48% yield. Total return is terrible, negative 185%. And that's why it's in red. It's the worst of the Roundhill funds. AVGW on Avgo, 46-cent average. They went from 59 to 41 cents, 54% yield. Total returns 45%. And again, I'm going to do a comparison of all the different companies we cover and which ones have best yield to total return. We did that hybrid thing last week. I don't know if that's the way to look at it, but I'll think about that. Anyway, BABW, 40 cents to 37 cents, 44% yield based on those last three, negative 60% total return. So the price has gone down on Alibaba versus the yield that they're paying. That's what that tells us. BRKW on Berkshire, 18 cents down to 13 cents, 18% yield. Total return 1%. Again, it's annualized, so it's not, that way we can compare all of them, annualized. If it's a brand new fund and it goes up 5% the first week, total return is going to be massive. But, as we get some time between, when these were launched, then we'll know a little bit better. But 1% total return on Berkshire. But it's Berkshire. Coinbase funds, COIW, went from 23 cents to 22 cents. Again, I'm looking up here. 54% yield. Total return is negative. Let's go down. COSW on Costco went from 24 cents to 13 cents. 19% yield. Total return is down because Costco's down. And they may have overpaid a little bit when they launched. A lot of them do that. I think that's going to stop. I hope that's going to stop. I just pay the income. GUW, love this fund. Here's why. They've paid 52 cents, 61 cents, now 47 cents. I don't like that drop, but it's a 53-cent average, almost 54. It's a 38% yield. Total return with drip, annualized, 169%. The winner. 161 if you average the two. So you guys know I've owned this for a bit. not a long time, but when I saw these numbers, this fund launched at 50. It's at 73 bucks. It went up to 84 bucks at one point. Thankfully, I didn't buy it then. I think I bought it right around where it's at now, maybe 71. But I love this fund. And I'm very bullish on Google for 2026. All the Mag 7, and Google's one of them. All right, Who on Robinhood, HOOW, 65 cents to 50 cents, 71% yield, 93% total return. Again, solid. Meta, another Mag 7, 29 cents to 19 cents. That dropped, 40% yield. Total return is down because it's gone down since they launched. And they've paid more yield than it's gone down. Or it's gone down more than they've paid yield. MSFW on Microsoft, 23 cents down to 13 cents. A little disappointing there. 31% total annualized yield. Total return is negative 22. MSTW, MicroStrategy. Everyone loves to hate it. 16 cents to 13 cents, 73% yield. Total return is pathetic. I'm not going to even say that number, but you can see it right here. NFLW on Netflix, 24 cents down to 13 cents. Again, these single stocks all declared today. They'll pay Tuesday. So NFLW, 20 cent average, 40% yield. Total return is negative. NVDW, went from 46 cents down to 33 cents, 41 average based on 3, 52% yield. Total return is up 34%. So you're getting the yield and a little bit of growth. So we'll take a deeper look into that because I'm interested in this stuff too. PLTW, let's see, that's Palantir, 45 cents down to 16 cents. Is that right? I think it's right. I put these in right. Still averages 41 based on the last 3, 58% yield, 51% annualized total return if you average the drip and no drip. TSLW Tesla, 39 cents to 16 cents also. Are those the exact same that no? They're just down. Tesla, 58% yield. TSLW, 58% yield. Total return, 11% positive. So not bad. Ubu on Uber, 36 cents to 31 cents, 35% yield. Total return is negative 81%. UNH, United Healthcare, and I'm a little bullish on healthcare. I'm not in any healthcare stuff. I'm not going to get in any healthcare stuff anytime soon, but I think healthcare is going to have a good year. That's just a thought. Not buying any, not financial advice. We'll keep an eye on it though. And this is the only healthcare covered call ETF or option ETF that we cover. So they went from 45 cents to 37 cents, 38% yield. Total return is down 12%. GDXW, gold miners, 72 cents down to 30 cents, 47% yield. Total return 117%. It's gold. Gold's been on a tear. That's what we expect. And then GLW, which is Spider Gold, not gold miners, gold itself, the Spider fund, S&P fund, 34 cents to 10 cents, not good, 22% yield. Total return is 46% though, so that's good. And then the bond fund, TSYW, it's newer, 13 cents to 12 cents, now 8 cents, 11% yield. That's why it's in red. It's the lowest. And total return down 20%. Takes 101 months based on the yield, not total return, to recover your money back. Anyway, so the average yield of the Roundhill funds is 55%. Annualized total return with dividend reinvestment, 2.01, without 0.93. Average those two, and it's 1.47 total return. So if you own all of them, you got a little bit of growth, not much, but you're getting a nice yield. So, I mean, how much growth versus income do you want? I want income right now, which is why I only own one of these. And tomorrow we'll do the top 10. We'll talk about the highest yielders, the highest total returners, and we'll go from there. But that's Roundhill. That's what I wanted to talk about today. We'll do top 10 tomorrow, top 10 yielders, top 10 total returners. I'm not going to do that third section with the hybrid yield because I don't think it's very useful because it just averages back in the yield, even though it's already in there with the total return. But we'll look at some stuff. We'll go over it. Have a great day. Do hit the like. Remember, this is not financial advice. Consult a financial advisor. Do your own research. Read the prospectus. I mean, a lot of these are prospectus says you will have NAV erosion. And then people complain about NAV erosion. And then when a fund fixes things to not have NAV erosion, you complain, well, the yield's lower. So take it as you will. Anyway, have a great day, and we'll talk again tomorrow.